I'm on my computer right now. I'm trying to see if a notification comes up for this live stream or if it's even streaming clearly. So give me a second, y'all. I've noticed some people say, oh, I didn't know you went live. I didn't get a notification. So I'm trying to see if, okay, it says we're live. It says we're live. See how it's looking. Okay, it doesn't look horrible. Well, hi y'all, Bria here, and welcome to another live stream with me. I am currently in Hanoi, Vietnam. For those of you who follow my channel, you're probably like, what is she doing in Vietnam? Or you may have heard me mention that I was coming here. So for anybody who joins this live stream and is new to my channel, my name is Briamaine. I live in Bangkok, Thailand, and I was living in Atlanta, Georgia before I moved here, and I was doing Nomad life, minimalist lifestyle, and now I'm living abroad. So my home base is Bangkok, Thailand, but I'm currently in Vietnam. So I wanted to tell you guys why I'm in Vietnam. First and foremost, for anybody who's interested in traveling abroad, moving abroad, you definitely have to be aware of the visa requirements for different countries that you go to. Some places it's quite simple, some places don't require a visa, and then some places have quite more expensive or just drawn out visa processes. So you need to be mindful, do your research depending on what country you decide to visit or you decide to live in. But I decided to move to Bangkok, Thailand. So I want to give you guys a little bit of background information on like the whole visa process and like how I'm able to stay long term in a country that I don't have residency in. So yeah, what's up, Dracar Covington? Thanks for joining. If y'all see me looking this way, it's because my laptop's right here. I'm trying this new thing where I'm not like staring at my, because I go live on my iPhone, so I'm not staring so hard at the iPhone. I can look over here and see my comments much bigger. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, I moved to Thailand on a tourist visa. Basically, a tourist visa, Thailand offers visas on arrival. So not all countries are like this, but you can just fly to Thailand. Once you get here, they will give you a visa at the airport, and that gives you 60 days to be in the country before you need to leave the country. Now, that's pretty cool because it used to only be 30 days. I think last time I came here in 2022? What year were we? No, 2023. When I first came here, I think it was 30 days. So after 30 days, I had to either leave the country or I had to request an extension from the immigration office. So this time around, I moved back to Thailand in October of 2024. And now it's January of 2025. So officially, I've been living there for 3 months. Now, you might wonder, like, okay, well, if you came in on a tourist visa and they only give you 60 days, how did you make it to 90 days, which is 3 months? So pretty much I stayed in the city for 60 days. Once I was approaching my visa expiration, I went to the immigration office that's in the city in Bangkok, and I had to pay and request an extension of another 30 days. So that's how I was able to stay in the country for 3 months, 90 days. So now my visa is expiring, I think tomorrow. So I hurry up and got out of the country. I always do it like a couple days ahead, just in case you have any issues. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you're getting fined for overstaying your visa. It's just like not a good look. If you overstay your visa, which means let's say it expired today and you stayed an extra 3 days, they're going to charge you a certain amount per day that you overstay. And then it's just also not a good look on your passport. Like if you want to come in and out the country again, they're probably going to look at you like this person doesn't really follow the rules. So I'm pretty strict with myself in regards to making sure I'm exiting or entering when I need to, and just making sure I'm doing it ahead of time so I don't have any problems with Thai immigration. So that's what brought me here to Vietnam. I've always wanted to visit Vietnam, and I knew that having to leave the country, it would make sense for me to go to other close countries in the area that I would like to visit. So a lot of people who travel, you'll see them, especially if they live in Thailand, you'll see them going to Malaysia, you'll see them going to the Philippines, you may see them going to Cambodia or Laos. That's where I went last time. All of these are kind of like border countries of Thailand, so it's easy to get out and come back in, versus if I wanted to come all the way home to the US and come back to Thailand, that would be extremely expensive and it would take a long time. So for me, Vietnam was a 2-hour flight away from Bangkok. So that's what I chose to do. But last time I was here and I had to do this process, I went to Cambodia. We actually drove to Cambodia. So I was able to hire like a driver. And I think it was like a 4-hour drive. But they drove me to the border of Cambodia. I stepped out into Cambodia and then I literally did my paperwork and stepped right back into Thailand. It's that simple. However, it is time consuming and it does cost money. So you have to keep those things in mind if you want to move abroad. Let's see what the chat says. Carlos Eduardo says, hello, I'm watching you from Brazil. A pleasure. Brazil is on my bucket list. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully one day I can make it to Brazil. It's a beautiful country. Valero Milan says, hey, beauty. What's up, Valero? Timothy John, aka T-Real, says, we still need to plan that visit. I'm in Bangkok. Pull up. You know where I'm at. Cigarette. Well, not right now. I'm in Vietnam, but I'll be back in Bangkok soon. Cigarello Slim, what's good? Thanks for joining us. I've noticed that maybe around this time, like for me, it's in the morning, but for y'all, it's the nighttime. It seems like this is the best time to like get on and chat with y'all, because when it's evening for me and I'm feeling like, ooh, I want to go live real quick, I'm realizing I'm like, people are probably getting ready for work, going to school, doing all type of stuff. So hopefully this is the best time for us to chat. But anyway, Vietnam in comparison to Thailand, living expenses are cheaper. I think food is cheaper here. Like just the value of their money is quite lower than Thailand. There's a lot of similarities. Like it looks like any, you know, Southeast Asian country, but their language is also very similar. Like they're speaking a different language, but it sounds very similar to me to Thai. I noticed that people are a little less polite, but I don't mind that coming from America. Like they'll beep at you, they'll, you know, kind of push out of your way, but I didn't really notice that much in Thailand. However, they're very much so on like being polite and, you know, all of that, which is great, but sometimes it can be exhausting. Yeah, I really want to hit up Malaysia. Eventually, that I'll probably hit that this year, probably for my next border run. But long story short, since I had to leave the country after 3 months, 90 days, you gotta go. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the fuck on. You know, so like I got out the country. I'm gonna chill here for a little bit and then I'm gonna re-enter Thailand. And my goal is that I will re-enter Thailand with another 60-day tourist visa and I can do my extension process again. So that would give me another 30 days. So 60 plus 30, 90. So pretty much if I signed a 12-month lease here and I'm probably gonna have to do at least 3 border runs before I actually end my lease and decide where I want to move next. So sometimes people vaguely talk about this process, like a lot of content creators that I watch. A lot of times you just see like the glamorous side of it, like you see people traveling and staying in nice hotels and going to beaches and doing all this, but they may not talk to you like about the behind the scenes aspect. Is like, well, I have to travel. Like it's not really a choice. And I know traveling's not for everybody. Luckily, I love to travel. One of my goals is to see as many countries as I can before I die. So it kind of works out for me knowing that like, okay, every 2 to 3 months, like you're gonna have to travel. That's okay with me. But I just want to be transparent with you guys. If you're interested in moving abroad, you have to keep in mind the visa process. You have to keep in mind that you're going to be traveling quite a lot more because it's not your home country. Like I can go back to America and I could just like sit on my ass for 12 months straight in Atlanta. I don't have to go anywhere or do anything. I don't have to talk to immigration. I don't have to do any of that. So it's really a privilege that we forget about coming from our home country. Like being in Thailand, I have to be aware of like, okay, my immigration status at all times pretty much. But knowing that you have 60 to 90 days does give you kind of peace of mind to just hang out, do what you want, invest in what you want. And then when the time comes, you know, okay, let me set aside some money and also research and do preparation for travel. For example, I assumed, I don't know why, but I assumed that coming to Vietnam, their visa process was similar to Thailand, where you can just show up at their airport and pay something and they'll just let you into the country. Yes and no. Like you could do that, but they're gonna charge the out of you. Like if you show up at the airport with no visa, they're gonna charge you the highest price they can for that visa because they know at that point you're already on their soil. It would be highly inconvenient for you to have to try and find a flight back immediately because they're not just gonna let you stay at the airport until your next flight in 4 days or whenever you booked your return flight. So like a lot of people get caught up with that and end up having to pay way more money than they were supposed to. So what I found out is that you have to actually apply for your visa online like ahead of time, like a week or more at least, because they're gonna take 3 to 4 days to process it. If they have any issues with your application and they need an amendment, or they need you to send an updated picture or anything like that, they're going to start the processing time over again. And this is the horrible situation that I found myself in with my best friend who was supposed to come here to Vietnam with me. My visa was approved. We filed for our visas at the same time, but for whatever reason, the passport picture on his visa application wasn't clear enough or something, I'm not sure, so we had to submit another one, and it just brought the processing time back. And it got to a point where I was like, I have to leave the country. I'm gonna overstay my visa if I don't go. So I ended up having to go and leave my best friend. It freaking sucks, and I've been like kind of sad about it, not even gonna lie, but I'm just trying to make the best of the time here and explore the country, even though unfortunately it's gonna have to be on my own again. But I'm typically used to doing a lot of things on my own anyway. I'm an avid traveler, so I will survive. But yeah, make sure you guys are doing your research about these places. Like, don't just depend on YouTube people or whatever. Like, do your own research. And the only reason why I found out that I was going to need to apply for it online is because of a community I'm in, Tribe of Nomads. One of the people in the community recently went to Vietnam, and they told me that they had the nightmare process of showing up at the airport. They wanted to overcharge them. They ended up flying back to Thailand for a while, replanning the whole trip. Like, it's just a lot of wasted money, time, and effort and energy. So you have to be like pretty responsible if you're going to be like a traveler or just living abroad in general. Like, you got to be on top of everything, really. Let me see. What's up, Glenn Bully? Nice to see you. Dracar Covington says, what time is it there? It is 9:23 a.m. here. And I'm an early bird, so I've been up since probably like 7:30. And I had breakfast downstairs in the lobby of the hotel. And now I'm in the room, and I was like, you know what? Let's go live. Why not? And I found these robes in their closet. Y'all, why did nobody explain to me that Vietnam is cold? I thought all of Southeast Asia was warm. Like, that's what I thought. Like, in Thailand, we get a nice little breeze every now and then in the morning or at night. But I'm like, when I got here, I was literally freezing my nipples off. And I'm like, do I need to go buy a jacket? Like, all I brought were, like, shorts and skirts and stuff to come here. I brought a swimsuit. I thought I was going to go to the beach. It is not beach weather, y'all. Like, I don't know if it's the time of year because it's January. So even though they don't really get cold, like, it's a little too cold to go swimming, you know? I should have did more research on that. Don't just assume where you're going is going to be warm and sunshine all the time. Let me show you guys what it looks like outside right now. I'm going to flip my camera so y'all can see. And they beep a lot here. They don't beep a lot in Thailand. This is my view. This is Vietnam. This building is like abandoned. It's really interesting because I'm like, what type of architecture is that? That doesn't even look like any of the other things that you see over here. But it's pretty awesome, and it's like gloomy. It's cold, it's chilly. So yeah. It looks chilly, right? It does not look like we're going swimming or we're going to anybody's beach. We're not. We're not. But I did book a tour. It's gonna take me into like the historical part of town. I think it's called Old Town. It's gonna take me to like Train Street. I don't know if any of you guys have like researched Vietnam, but they have this awesome street that's like old school, like trains used to run through it, and like the buildings are up on it so close that like you can sit outside and like drink coffee and like watch the train go by, and it's literally like inches from your face. Like, anyway, I'm gonna do that. I'm doing like a little food tour to try out some different foods, but I'm really keeping it low key, y'all. I'm just chilling in my room. I'm cold. There's not really heat like that here because you don't typically put on the heat, so you kind of just gotta like bundle up. Let me see. Dracar Covington says, are you still teaching? At the current moment, I'm not. But I just got my TEFL degree, and I'm trying to get like I really want to do like online teaching with adults. I'm trying to find the right position for that. If not, like just a position with older children. I've been offered other jobs here, but I've turned them down only because they want me to teach kindergarten kids, and it's just like not really my vibe. I know that like I can, like, worst come to worst, if I have to, I'll do it. But I want to do things I'm passionate about, and I'm more passionate about working with the older kids. Like, I have better communication with them. We have conversations. Like, I don't know, I just feel like my personality is not the best for working with kindergartners. Like, it's not bad, I can do it, but it's like, I'm super chill. I'm not gonna be like, hey, ooh, ooh. I'm not animated. Like, I'm not gonna talk like a baby to you. Like, you know, like, it's just difficult for me to like find myself enjoying that type of role. So I've been more so focused on seeing if I can find a job where I can work with adults, and having my TEFL I think is gonna help me. I'm also blessed to be in a position where I don't necessarily have to rush into a job that I'm not really satisfied with. So I've kind of just been taking my time and trying to find the right flow for me. But being here last time, I worked with kids who were 11 all the way up to like 19. And even my 11-year-olds, I can deal with like their age. I could deal with middle school kids. I taught middle school kids back in the US, but I just prefer to like work with more mature kids. That's my preference, but who knows? Let's see how my job search goes. I will definitely keep you guys posted about that. But so far I've just been getting opportunities to do like kindergarten homeroom teaching, and like I'm just not really that interested. I'm sorry, I can't. Siljan Turk, are you coming from Turkey? Are you here from Turkey? That's pretty cool. I stopped in Turkey on my way to Thailand. I had a layover there, and Turkey's awesome. Brother H says, how's the cat doing? She's doing great. She's home with family. She's still alive and well and spoiled. Surviving the winter. She's bundled up. Usually when it's warm out, she's usually outside doing whatever she wants. But right now it's winter. She's bundled up inside, just waiting for the winter to pass. Especially I heard in Atlanta, they got some snow recently. So I was like, yeah, just keep her inside. Blaine Martin says, that happened to me when I was doing my e-visa for India. I had to send them a second photo because of a glare in the picture of my passport. It took another week for the uploaded picture approval. Yes, that's literally exactly what happened. And how inconvenient is that? Like, for it to take another week. I feel like if it's just an amendment, they should like expedite the process, because it's not like you got to start the whole application over. It's just a picture glare. And then on top of that, their website only allowed me to upload a picture that was 2 megabytes. So I literally had to go in and keep like editing the size of the picture and changing the quality of the picture to get it to even fit their range. And like, to me personally, it's just a scam. All this shit is a scam to me, you know, because they're like, oh, well, you can pay us extra money and we'll expedite it today. And then we paid the money to expedite it, and they were like, oh, we're closing in 2 hours. It's going to take 4 hours to expedite it, but you could pay us some more. I'm like, I don't have time to keep giving y'all all my money. Like, enough is enough. But these are some of the things that people don't talk about when it comes to traveling. Like, if you have that US dollar, people are going to try and get it up out of you. So even though you're coming somewhere where it's cheaper to live, it's more affordable, you could do this, that, and the third, you have to be very wary of scammers and just processes that can make you spend more money than you were originally supposed to spend. Because the visa online was $25. Once you get to the airport and try and do it, it's $300. Like, what a drastic skip, hop, and a jump. But they know when you get to that airport, you're going to pay it. More than likely, 90% of people are going to pay it. So, you know, it is what it is. Blaine Martin says, I missed the yoga retreat I signed up for after paying a deposit. Yeah, it sucks. You miss out on a lot of money. So we had to make a decision. I was like, either we pay them more money, basically the $300 to expedite your thing to come here, or either we just take the flight as a L. And I was like, let's just take the flight as a L, because I'm like, we're paying literally triple the price of what it was to come here, and Vietnam is cheaper than Thailand. So I'm just like, why am I paying more to come here than I paid home in Thailand? Like, I'm not doing it. So we just had to take that L, but there'll be, you know, other times where we can travel together, go other places. The most important thing was that I had to get out the country for visa purposes. So that was originally the reason why I came here. But we'll have other time to come here and kind of like explore and like do all that extra stuff. I just need to make sure my paperwork is right so that I can continue this year and go back to my home in Bangkok and not feel like immigration is going to come knocking at my door or something. Taryn Bell says, sis, what do you do for work? So I do a lot of stuff online, like remote work, but I just got my TEFL and I'm working on getting a teaching job here. So that's what I do. Oh, wait, so never mind. I get that you're teaching. I don't want to be redundant, LOL. I mean, a lot of people who come to Thailand or even just travel abroad in general, like teaching is like one of the most easiest jobs you could probably get as a foreigner living in a country, you know. So a lot of people do that. But most people I know are like digital nomads like me. Like we all have some type of remote work we're doing on our computer, or ways that we make money digitally, so that it's not necessarily location based. But if you want to teach, you're going to have like a 9 to 5 type teaching schedule, similar to back in the States. Like you're going to have like a regular job schedule and expectations, and have to go to meetings and all that extra stuff. So it's a lot different than just waking up and turning on your computer and trying to find some ways to make money. But I think that I don't know, it's more mature for me to have like a big girl job. I'm like, I'm working on it, but I have definitely been enjoying not having to work a 9 to 5 right now, and just like doing remote stuff on my computer. Taryn Bell, you said, yeah, I live in Qatar and I'm teaching online. I need to figure out something else and a way to make more for sure. How do you like living in Qatar and teaching there? And how is it? Well, I don't know if you're a single woman or not, but if you are, how is it living there as a single woman? Do you find it difficult? Is there a lot more rules? Do you have to adjust how you dress? Like, I would love to know all of that, because living in Thailand, like, they're so accepting. Like, they don't really care, and if they care, they're not going to say anything. But when it comes to working, that's a whole different environment, especially teaching. So when I was teaching, I had to like stay covered because I have giant tattoos on my thighs, which that wasn't a big deal because I'm wearing a skirt, so you can't see it anyway. But like my arms, I'm like all tatted on my arms. So I had to, and I'm tatted on my shoulder. So I always had to have like long sleeve covered up, because they're like, we don't want the kids to be influenced by your ratchetness, I guess, you know. But that's the only thing I don't really like here, is that like when I do teach, I have to cover up. But then when I'm out and about and just regular day life, like everyone has tattoos, even Thai people have tattoos, like no one cares. And when I was in America, like I had plenty of teachers, and I worked with other teachers who had tattoos. I think the principal of the school had tattoos. So for me, it's just like kind of taboo. But I would love to know how it is like in other countries for other teachers. I knew a girl, she wants to move to Dubai to teach, and I'm like, you got that, sis. Taryn Bell says, I like it. It's chill. It's not difficult or anything. I do dress modestly, but I've been here 3 years and I'm used to it now. I moved here to be with my husband. Oh, perfect. That's awesome that you have somebody there with you. And the modest dressing, yeah, like you said, after a while you get used to it, but it could just be a little annoying, especially if you're somebody who's not that modest. And I am pretty modest. I wouldn't say I dress crazy or like really revealing. I just have a lot of tattoos. That's really all it is. It's not a good place for LGBT, so I don't recommend anyone who is LGBT, but yeah, it's not bad overall. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to survive there then, unfortunately. But you know what? Hey, teach his own. I always tell people, when you travel, like, do your research so you can find what place like fits your values and like who you are as a person. Like, instead of going somewhere and trying to make them accept you or conform to who you are, I'm like, just go somewhere where they already kind of have those similar values. So when I was researching where I wanted to live, and the reason why I chose Bangkok was for, not even just Bangkok, but Thailand, was for a lot of different reasons. I felt like it being a Buddhist community, like, they're very much so more peaceful. It's like more safe. You don't see people with guns all the time. They're very much so polite. Like, it's very much the culture to not be rude. And one thing I don't do is rude or disrespectful. Like, I can turn into a bull real quick, like the tourist comes out. So I'm like, I like being somewhere where I feel like people are kind and polite. Also, I smoke, at least for now. Cannabis is legal here. Also, just the cost of living for the quality that you get. Like, I have a really nice condo. I'm in a really nice city, and I don't have to pay too much crazy amount of money. So I'm like, just depending on, you know, what your circumstances are is gonna determine what country you choose to visit or even live in. And then to top it off, I'm a single girl, so I wanted to be somewhere where I felt safe, and I feel like that's amazing. Then I also love Asian culture, and I learned Chinese language in college. So hopefully one day I'll get back to visit China. I'm not in really a rush right now, but I'm learning Thai now, and I'm able to travel these Southeastern Asian countries. And yeah, this is just something that works for me. But I know a lot of women and people who are like, oh, I'm interested in living in Dubai, living in Qatar. I know some people move to India. I know some people who teach English in Korea. I have a friend who's moving to Taiwan soon to teach English. So the opportunities out here are like limitless. I think the biggest hurdle to like living this type of lifestyle is minimalism, honestly, because you can't really live this lifestyle and then have a bunch of shit back home that you have to take care of, unless you're just balling, you know. And even then, you might need some help. But I had to get rid of everything to like start a whole new life in another country. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with even considering that. Like, you have some people who are like, I want to do this, but I don't want to minimalize, so I'm just going to put everything in storage and just pay for a storage unit and keep all your stuff. So when you come back, if you decide to come back, you have all your stuff. And that's fine too. But I find like if you sell stuff or just get rid of stuff, like you'll realize like you have a lot of baggage that you don't really need. You can get rid of it, or you could use that money to fund your lifestyle. Let's see. Taryn Bell says, yeah, I'm over it because I want to go somewhere more liberal. It was nice while I'm here, but my husband and I are ready to move on. Are you guys based there because of your husband's work? Is he able to like do his work from somewhere else, like from another country? Angel P says, my nephew has been teaching in Korea for over 10 years and he loves it. Yeah. Yep. I know a lot of people who enjoy Korea and Japan as well. I heard Japan is a little more strict, but I think they pay better. I don't know. China pays really well, but obviously there's the issue with some people not really feeling comfortable to go to China right now. Yeah, so many places you could teach at, and especially if you have a TEFL, you can get far with that. Taryn Bell says, I lived in Shanghai and it was a blast. I recommend it. Referring to you learning Mandarin. I went as a Chinese government scholarship winner to learn Mandarin. I left because of COVID. Yeah, so when I went to China, it was in 2010. So it was a very different environment when I went to China. I went there, I was 16, I was studying abroad. And then when I came back to the States, I continued to learn Chinese throughout high school and throughout college. So I'm decent at it, and like I've always wanted to go back. It's just I try not to let fear mongering get to me, because when you listen to other people say like, oh, don't go there, they're doing this, they're treating people like this, they're doing that, like sometimes you just have to experience for yourself, because if you let what everyone says like stop you, you're just never going to go anywhere. But like I do want to go back to China at some point. I don't know if I necessarily want to live there, but definitely just to go back. I'm like, damn, it's been 15 years, like half of my life ago I was in China. Like that's wild to even think of that. But yeah, y'all, like even if you want to go to China, Qatar, anywhere, like they have their visa processes. So that's what I kind of wanted to highlight in this video, is like traveling is great if you do the research. It could be a headache if you're not prepared. So definitely look into like the visa processes for whatever country you're interested in visiting. Don't get caught up like I did, because things can go left really easily. Angel P says, how's Miss Toffee doing? I know you miss her. Yes, I miss her every day. I have her picture on the background of my phone. She's doing well. I think she's good where she's at. She's with family. She's stable. My lifestyle, traveling and moving all over the place and stuff, like I don't think it would be suitable for a 12-year-old cat. So that was a decision I had to make, to not be selfish and be like, oh, I want her with me. Like, I just want her to be healthy, happy, live a long life. I hope she could live past 20 if possible. So she's home with the family and she's safe and she's taken care of. Taryn Bell says, yeah, I met my husband on a dating app and we clicked. He can't do his work online, so he'll have to try his luck wherever we go. He also hates working from home. He likes to go sit in an office, LOL. Well, maybe you guys can find another country where he can find the type of job that he likes. Because for me, work is work. If you're not happy with your lifestyle, like, it doesn't even matter at some point. Because I'm like, you can literally find a way to make money. We're always going to have to find a way to make money. That's never going to change. But I would want to be very much so content with the environment that I'm living in, the people, you know, in my community, like all of that stuff. And then work will fall into place after that, because you're going to have to make money. But if you're not happy where you're living and you have to go to work, like, it just kind of sucks. Angel P says, she's definitely better off with family and being settled. My cat lived for 25 years. That's awesome. Do you know how long is the life expectancy for cats? Like, I feel like 25, that's like, that cat was taken care of, you know? Like, even my cat being 12, I'm like, wow, like, you were getting old for a cat, you know? But I want her to live a long, fruitful life, just as I want for myself. So sometimes you got to make those decisions. I know a girl who lives out here. She brought her dog. And I think for dogs, it's a little bit different because, one, dogs, you got to kind of take them outside every day and keep them active. But a cat is sitting in the house. So I'm like, my cat is not used to just sitting in the house. Like, she's like an outdoor indoor cat. So I was like, if I bring her here, she cannot go outside because they have stray cats and stray dogs here. So I was like, she would just be locked in the condo. And then once I start working, if I'm not doing remote work, she would just be all alone. So I was like, why won't I just leave her at home with the family where she's always around people? She has everything she needs, and she's also in a familiar environment, so she's not overstressed. Those are like the main reasons why I wanted to keep her there. But yeah, y'all, stay tuned with my channel. I'm gonna be, excuse me, I'm gonna be posting a vlog about my time here in Hanoi, Vietnam, so you guys can kind of see like how the city looks and some activities I get into. Yeah, I don't know, because the trip has changed. I was originally supposed to have somebody here with me. The way that I wanted to shoot my vlogs was a little different, so I'm having to adjust a little and be like, okay, I'm gonna be doing this on my own, but I'm gonna do my best to bring some good Vietnam content for you guys while I'm here, because I'm gonna be headed back to Bangkok very soon, and I'm happy about it because I like my little condo in Bangkok and my little life and my little home. So we're gonna make the best of it here, and I will keep you guys posted. Let's see, the chat slowed down. If you guys have any questions about visa processes, traveling abroad, moving abroad, all that type of stuff, please leave me a comment or join my Discord as well, because when I get off live, I'll be in the Discord chatting if anybody wants to talk. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people interested in this lifestyle. Sometimes I get questions in my Instagram DM box that's like, oh, how did you do this? How did you do that? What TEFL do you have? What job? Like, all this type of stuff. I'm like, if y'all hit me up in the Discord, like, we could have a whole back and forth conversation about those things. But it just depends on interest, you know. If you really, really want to do something, you got to do that research on your own. Angel P says, looking forward to more international content from you. Thank you so much. Angel P says, Thailand's on my bucket list for sure. My brother lived there for many years. People love it here. Like, so many people are moving here. It's ridiculous. Like, if you want to live in Thailand, like, you best get in while you can, because I just feel like prices are going to go up because so many people want to live here. But I hope more people take into consideration the bordering countries here. There's a lot of amazing places, like, you know, like Bali, Indonesia, like the Philippines, other places where you can go and live a really nice, like, affordable lifestyle. But right now, Thailand is popping. Like, everybody wants to come to Thailand. Yeah, and it's cannabis friendly, so yeah, that's very important for me. But all right, y'all, I think I'm gonna end this live stream. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed this little conversation. I like having these conversations with y'all, and again, I'm gonna try and do more of them. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Why not? And then also leave me a comment. Let me know what you liked about this conversation, if you took anything from it. If you have any additional questions, or if you want to chat with me, like I said, join my Discord. The link is in the video description and the channel description. And until the next time we chat, peace. Thanks for being here.